Hi guys, so today's video is gonna be a tutorial on how to DIY these multi-chain cross necklaces because I have a couple of them and I pair them up with almost everything I wear. They're very versatile and easy to match, and I usually get questions about where I get them from, but I got mine about 2 to 4 years ago. Yeah, so you really can't get them outside anymore. So I'm going to teach you guys how to DIY them so all of you can have your own cross necklaces as well. So for today's DIY, I'll be using accessories from Cute Little Strawberries because their accessories go for about $2 to $4, which I think is very cheap compared to other accessories that I see elsewhere. And like if you mess up, it's not that bad because the cost is a lot lower than if you were to buy a $20 necklace. They have a lot of this kind of necklaces which have charms on it, like pendants or charms, cross ones, which I really like. And it's also $2 to $4. And you have bigger ones which you can use both sides of it. So it's really up to you what you like and what you want to make. And this one is a star one, which is also very pretty. So mainly I like the cross ones because I see these cross pendants online for about $2.50 each, and this whole necklace is about $2, $3. So the Cute Little Strawberries one is a lot, more worth it. Anyway, I've sketched out, not really sketched, I've drawn badly on a piece of paper like some of the possible designs that you can DIY out of the accessories that I just showed you. And because you see these necklaces come with chains, you can layer them up and make them into like a bracelet or make it into like a multi-layer chain sort of thing. You can just snip off some of the ends of the chain to make it like longer and shorter and longer and shorter, so there's a sort of like a variation. It's not all like chunked up together. And then this one is different chain textures, which is when you have normal thin chain and then maybe you have some thicker chain lying around at home, black color, like silver color, you can mix it with the gold, so there's different sort of texture and colors to it. So actually it's really up to you. You can decide what design to do, and after that you can just purchase the necklaces and just DIY. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to make mine today. I'm going to be trying to DIY this one, which has a lot of small cross pendants. But because I don't have enough of the necklace with small cross pendants, I'm going to be using the stars one to replace it. So we'll just pretend that these are crosses. What you're going to need is, again, scissors as usual, and also pliers, which has the part to clamp the metal chain or whatever, and one to cut it at the back. So you're gonna also need these things, which I think are connectors or something, I don't know, chain connectors, which help to connect your pendant to your keychain. And you don't really have to buy this because you can always rip them out of accessories that you don't want or are too old or are broken. And I always keep like boxes and boxes of these like random accessories that are from very long ago and I don't wear anymore, and some of them broke off. See, they're all from random, you never know when you need them. So over here I have quite a number of it, and these are going to help me connect my stars to the necklace. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to see how long a chain I'd like. But then again, this is not really the main concern because you can cut it up anytime, you can make it shorter, and because of this lobster clasp thing, you can always hook it to a shorter length or a longer length. So we'll just leave the length as it is for now and just connect the stars. So since these stars are not in a permanent position of the chain, which means that you can slide them around any portion, I'm actually going to remove them because to make this effect I need them to be permanently secured in a certain part of the chain, so that when you wear it, it does not all fall to the front, which I don't like, but some of you may like. So I'm just going to get them out of the chain, and then my star can slide out like this. And especially because cross necklaces, those necklaces with a lot of cross pendants and all that usually cost about $28, $40, and some of them are even like, I don't know, way more expensive. So if you were to DIY a cross necklace and if it's quite pretty, it'll last you quite a long time. So it'll be a worthy investment, I think. Yeah. Because I really like to wear my cross necklaces. I never ever go out without them. So for me, I like to have a lot of cross necklaces, and I think this is a good way to get them, because some of the cross necklaces outside come like really simple designs which just look quite cheap. So you know, they might be pricey but they look cheap. So it's better if you can design one of your own that looks more detailed and expensive but yet costs you really low. So these are my stars, and then I can still use this chain, gold chain, if I want, or if I have other chains from other necklaces which I do not already wear. You see, like the black ones. I have a lot of broken necklaces at home and they come in a lot of different colors. These are black, but I'm going to use this for later. So I'll still stick to one of the gold chain first. For a start, you will have to match up the ends of the chain and then pull to the center so that you can find approximately where the center of the chain is. Put a connector through it. But don't close it yet because you need to put a star. And then maybe I'll just use a silver one because I like silver more. And then close it. Now it will not move and slide around, so you have it in a position that you want. Then if you want to make the sides permanent like this, you will have to decide how much of a distance you want and make sure it matches at each part. So I'm just going to roughly estimate maybe here because I want them to be quite close. Then I'll use the gunmetal one. It does not have to be in this order, I'm just saying, it's up to you. Or if you like it all in the same color, you can actually just get the cross necklace or whatever from CLS, and then you know, you have 6 sets of each color, and yeah, it will just still cost you only about $12. Now I have to match it up to this side. So now I have my necklace looking like this, and as you can see, they do not join together in the center. And this can easily be a bracelet, or you know, if a bracelet, I'll probably make it closer, but because I'm going to make this into a necklace, so it's really up to you. And then I'll continue chaining up the sides. Okay, because if you want something like this with the center hanging down, like there is a definite center to it, you actually need like an odd number, so I'm not going to use one of the stars. So actually I just need 5 because you see 6 will look quite uneven with 2 here and 3 on the side, so I'm just going to use 5, which I think looks quite good. And then you decide what length you want for your chain, cut it or just leave it as it is. And I just added this connector to the back so that I can use the lobster clasp to connect to it, and then my necklace is completed. Okay, because I really like black cross necklaces, so I actually brought out some of my chains, some collection of my leftover scrap chains and all that. There's cross necklaces outside that look quite cheap. I'm talking about this kind which is like only one little pendant compared to, you know, like the ones that I have with a lot of cross pendants which look more expensive because there are more pendants being used. So actually this is pretty nice on its own because of the multi-layered chain, and also because it's black. So you might want to buy, you know, those cross pendants and from that necklace with the 3 cross, and then just attach it on to wherever you want to add on to the volume of it so it looks chunky, because I think chunky necklaces are pretty. So this is one of my necklace that I have from I think like 4 years back, and then I don't wear it anymore. This is another one of my broken necklaces chains. I don't really like to throw away my necklaces because I like to mix and match with them, and I can always dismantle them and then put them back together again, dismantle them, put them back together again. This one is sort of like a bead sort of chain, and then this is just matte black, and then these are like gunmetal colored, so you can actually mix and match to make a necklace that you want, different textures, and they won't cost you much because these are all scrap materials, so you can really make your own. If you fancy gold chain, then buy gold chain necklaces. If you fancy black chain, then buy more black chain necklaces. I'm actually going to attempt to make this with different chain textures, and then I'm going to try to see if I can make all the crosses black. And because I don't have all black crosses, I have silver ones, gold ones, gunmetal, and then I have this, which is huge and pretty, but it's in gold, and like I said, I prefer black. So I'm going to try to color it with a permanent marker and then leave it to dry, then I'll do the chain. I'm going to color it with a marker. I recommend buying black spray paint, so you can just spray paint over this and you won't have to use a permanent marker. So I've colored these gold and silver pendants to black, and they pretty much look like how I want them to look. And it does not have to be perfect because it's handmade. And now I'm going to chain them up, and I have to decide which chain I want to use because I have quite a lot of chains, and if I stack them all together it will be too much. So I'll just pick the nicest textures that I like, and I definitely want to include this one, this one with like beads, because I think it's very pretty. So this is definitely gonna be one of it. And also the super thick one, which is this. And this is gonna be the place where I separate all these chains, but I'm gonna have to be quite careful because I don't want them to like tangle up on me. Again, cutting the chain connector at the link so that it opens up and all my chains will come off. I'm just gonna try to not tangle up. Now I have this, and so. And if you think that one of it is too long or one of it is too short, different lengths, you can always cut them. But for multi-layer chain necklaces, sometimes the difference in length is nice because you're going to have a bit of variation. But I think this is a bit too long for this, so I might have to cut it later. So I'm going to decide which ones I want. Just place them together and see which one looks nice together. You can just do this. I have to remove the clasp pendant. Because this one is wood, so it looks a bit more cheapskate than the metallic ones from CLS, so I actually prefer the metallic ones. I think this will go pretty okay. Silver. Maybe. I think this is about it. I'll just use this and put this aside. So now I'm going to fold all the chains into half to see which one is too long and which one is too short, and adjust accordingly. So this two looks a bit too long. Just an estimation. And then the silver one here is going to be the second longest, and this is the one that I'm gonna link my black cross pendants to. I'm just gonna use these beads as a gauge and start cutting. So now that I have all the chains, I'm going to link up all of them to a connector, and this is gonna be a little bit tricky because you don't want to tangle up the chains and you don't want to mess up the orders. So it'll be good if you can get a big connector like this compared to something smaller like this. You can see the difference in size. So this one will hold up more chains so that it will not like bunch up together too tightly. So this part is important. I'll start with the small one, the longest one, followed by the second longest, and then I'm gonna close it up and put a lobster clasp. Then I'm gonna close up the gap, the chain. Now that I've connected all the chains on one side to a lobster clasp, I'm going to try to chain up the other side, and I'm gonna make sure that I don't tangle them up, otherwise it's gonna be a lot more difficult to sort them out later on. So currently mine looks like this, which I think is pretty nice, but some of you may not like this part, which is a bit longer than the others, so it's really up to you, but I think it's not bad. So I'm just going to close the connector. So now if I wanted to clip the necklace together, it will be like this. Then I have my own multi-chain necklace, and now I'm gonna add in the cross charms. And because again it's gonna be one of those necklaces where I have a definite center and the chains are going to be fixed in a permanent place, so I'll need a centerpiece, which I think is this one, and then it's gonna have to be in pairs. The sides will have to be in pairs, so I only have one of these. So I'm actually gonna use the bigger cross here because I have another one from CLS, which is this, and it looks kind of like this, except that it has it's connected on both sides, so it might look a bit odd because this one has a connector here. I'm gonna show you how to remove the side connector that I do not want. I don't want this part of the connector because it looks odd compared to this one, so I'm actually going to cut it off with the back part of the pliers, which is the cutting part. So what I do is just to put it in like how you would cut a chain, and then just press. I'm going to chain them up to my necklace, and I'll have to again decide which positions to put it. Again, find the center by stretching out the necklace. Here's about the center, and then I'll just use a connector, put in my black cross into the center link, then close it, and then attach on the second biggest, which are one wooden one, and this one is the one that I cut off the side. So roughly I'm going to attach it. You can actually attach this at different chains so that they are all not on the same chain. So now I have the second one in. I left such a big space because I'm thinking of putting this ones, the smaller ones, in the center of both. Then I'm gonna add in the two smaller ones now.